Hi there, this is Peggy Arvidsson. I am a professional hand analyst and a spiritual teacher, and my goal in life is to help you live with more ease, more peace, and frankly, have more fun. You know, I'm about taking the spiritual stuff out of the woo-woo area and bringing it into the practical world. The tool that I use most often is the tool of hand analysis, and today I want to talk to you about heart lines. There's 4 primary types of heart lines. We're going to do 4 different shows talking about each of them. Your comments are more than welcome, your questions, I'd love to have them. I'm going to talk about heart lines in this particular series about how they affect us at work. Rather than talking about love and heart lines, which we can talk about in other shows, I want to talk to you about how your heart line affects your work. Whether you work for yourself or you work in an office, you'd like to work for yourself, you're contemplating career changes, all of the realms of how you earn a living in this world. Because not only do our heart lines tell us how we love and how we wish to be loved, they reflect for us how we communicate, our communication style, and how we wish other people would communicate. So today we're going to talk about the strong and silent heart line. Can you see? There you go. The strong and silent heart line. Very beautiful drawing I've done here. Heart lines always start from our pinky, the edge by our pinky, and they travel across the hand towards the thumb. Obviously you don't have a square on your hand, and neither do your colleagues or your customers. But I've drawn this here to give you a sense of what I mean when I say it lands low underneath the middle finger. Middle finger is referred to as Saturn. Or as we move into the other types, you'll see where they land in the square. It may not have an arrow at the end either. I just wanted you to know that it can go anywhere in this square and still be considered a strong and silent heart line. Now I use the term strong and silent. You may also hear the term hermit or Clint. For me, strong and silent is the most descriptive term that I could come up with for this particular heart line, and I really want it to be useful for you. It doesn't matter what I call it from an academic standpoint, it matters what rings true for you. The strong and silent at work is often overlooked or mistaken for being a little more simple. They're not your rah-rah cheerleaders. They're not going to ask lots and lots and lots of questions. They don't necessarily want to get into what you did on the weekend, although they can be chatty and outgoing, don't get me wrong. There are many, many people with this heart line who at work are on. When they come home, they want to decompress and go into their cave, if you will. But at work, they like to know what the task is, know what the desired outcome is, and they want to work using their best tools, what they know best, to make it happen. They don't need lots of talk and lots of debate and lots of questions about how should we get it done. They just want to get it done. Don't put these people in a meeting where you're talking about all the different types of dessert you might possibly serve at your client appreciation event. This is not what they signed up for. It's not what they want to do. Unless they're the chef, there's no reason to have them in there at that meeting. Let them do what they do well. Now, if you have a customer that is a strong and silent type heart line, they're anxious to make their decision. Once they've done their research on you, by the way, they've looked into your product and your service, and once they've given you a call, they're actually not really interested in a big dog and pony show, particularly if they're the decision maker. So if you're in sales and you have a client that you feel like maybe is a little gruff, because oftentimes salespeople have a little bit more fire in their hands or in their heart lines, and they want a little more enthusiasm and action and passion in the sales process. Not necessarily important for someone with a strong and silent heart line. They'd like to get to the point. They'd like to make the deal happen. In fact, you could mess up the deal by going on and on and on and on. They could think to themselves, particularly if you're a service provider, where they're going to be spending some time one-to-one with you on the phone or in person. The longer you go on in the sales process, the more you may convince them that they're not, they made a mistake, because they don't necessarily want to hear you go on and on. They just want to fix whatever it is that they've come to you for. So that's something to keep in mind. Strong in silence generally prefer to keep to themselves. That doesn't mean that they are selfish or mean or self-involved or stupid. It just means that they prefer to keep their own counsel. They tend to have a small group of friends. That doesn't mean that they can't be social and enjoy other people's company. They just like to get to the point, make it happen. So if you have a strong and silent heartline, keep in mind that other people may be a little more chatty than you. That doesn't make them bad. They may like to talk about what they did over the weekend, and that's not your thing. That's okay. Smile and nod. And recognize that not everybody has the same heartline. In fact, you may have two different heartlines on two different hands. Anyway, there's an overview for you of the strong and silent heartline. I want to remind you that heartlines start underneath our pinky. Can you see that? And then they move across the hand towards the thumb. And you'll notice that I have a sort of strong and silent heartline myself, a little bit more curvy than the one on the picture. If you have questions, I'd love for you to post them down there in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them as the series goes on. I am really excited to share with you all of the wisdom of the hands, particularly how they can help you in your career, whether it's in your own business or working for someone else. I'd like for you to have success and fun at work, and feel like you are really being seen. That's ultimately my goal. Again, I'm Peggy Arvidsson. My website is peggyarvidsson.com. I spell Peggy with an I-E, and I look forward to answering your questions from the comments below. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.